5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'd rather have a bowl of
Cocoa Pops.
I'd rather have a bowl of
Cocoa Pops.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Frame of Mind podcast.
Shalom.
I'm Josh. I'm here with Ryan.
Hello,
and
everybody.
Chappers.
Hello.
And
Good
today
morning.
we are doing the usual, talking about films, you know, and the usual stuff. But
Chat
first of
shit.
all, how are we all? How are we all doing?
I'm good. I've been
Pretty good.
shitting, I've been spitting,
Good.
like we were last
Shitting,
week.
you've been spitting. Never heard that one before.
The old
That's a new one.
Shatspat. What do you mean you haven't heard that? You came up with the Shatspat last week.
Oh, the shat spat. See,
Yeah.
you're using the wrong terminology. It is the shat spat.
It's not the shit spit, sorry.
Thank you
Sorry.
very much.
That's,
Okay.
that's the European version.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say I've ever taken part in either of those, but
Oh,
Well-
come on. We all know what you get up to in car parks,
yeah.
Joshua Chapman. Resident homosexual.
Resident homosexual.
homosexual.
Hi, it's me, your resident homosexual.
Yeah. That's my
Oh,
council
brilliant.
position.
A little bit of like a glint off his teeth. That's cum. Oh,
Oh, no.
Oh no. I brush my teeth on the daily.
That'll have to be the thumbnail now, like Chappers with a cheeky smile and a glint on his teeth.
Fucking hell, you
He's
killed me.
dying.
We've
Oh,
already
that's
killed
funny.
Yates.
Man,
That's
come
great.
comments.
So, boys, how are we diddling?
How we diddly doodling? We're doing very well, but let's talk about some
Pretty good. I
fucking
must
films,
say,
Ryan, shall we?
I've watched an awful lot in the last sort of couple of weeks.
Yeah, double
I've-
bill of Injustice.
Double bill of,
Injustice.
Justice
Oh,
Justice
let's
League.
start with that. Zack
Yeah, we've got
Snyder.
to start with that one, haven't we? I mean, that's
Oh, it's a long
that's the
one.
big one.
I'd like to point out, I'm now calling it Zack Snyder's. I've forgotten the fucking word now. I've been calling it that for
Cut.
like a day and a half.
Zack
What's it called?
Snyder's. My delete key is
The
broken.
Snyder cut.
My delete key is broken. No. Zack Snyder's product placement. That's what I've been calling it.
Ah.
Because holy crap, is it full of product placement?
Wait, no.
The Gillette blade when Batman's shaving his face is so obvious. And then
Oh, yeah.
when he picks up the Flash, drives off in his Mercedes. Originally, they just get in the Mercedes and they drive off. And the last thing he says is like, he goes, "What's your superpower?" "I'm rich." The doors
Yeah.
close, they drive off. Now he goes, "I'm rich." The doors close, and then there's like dubstep whilst it shows the steering
Proper,
wheel.
yeah, like
and
gets
the-
into
Yeah.
gear
Oh,
and
actually, now
revs
you
up,
mention it.
and
then it goes.
I didn't notice until you said that, actually.
There's
And then
loads
what's
of
great
product
is that
placement
in the following scene, I believe Wonder Woman also then gets out of Mercedes.
She
'Cause
does,
obviously she's borrowed one
she
of his
does.
cars whilst
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Batcave or whatever. So gets out of another Mercedes, and I remember seeing it and thinking, God, they didn't half love a Mercedes in this.
Also,
They
what the
really
fuck?
do.
Does that mean he's got a private Mercedes branch working on Batmobiles?
I don't know. At some point, he says about
I would not be
Aerosmith
surprised.
Wayne, which is a terrible name, but
Aerosmith
those are the
Wayne.
people that make his ship and stuff. So he could have people
Oh.
making him custom Mercedes. Who fucking
Yeah,
knows?
I don't think it's no longer Morgan Freeman making all the stuff.
That's a shame.
I would,
which is a shame.
God,
I love to imagine
Lucius
Morgan
Fox.
Freeman just in a boiler suit, just working,
I have
building.
been working on these cars.
Mr. Fox,
for
yeah.
15
Your car
years.
is ready, Mr. Wayne.
Oh mate. Lucius Fox was a great character in the Nolan films. That's actually something I want to get onto. There's a rumor in the works that
Don't tell me.
that Christopher Nolan may be directing a Marvel film.
Oh, that's still great, but I was
It's great.
expecting more Batman. But
No,
how,
no,
how
well-
the fuck is that going to work? How is he going to do
Him doing a Marvel movie?
film?
Well, because he likes to do stuff in camera. Doesn't
He likes to do stuff with time. He loves time, so maybe that.
Well, they've
Well, I
already
think
done that.
it's a good thing
Yeah.
they've already done the time travel because he can't complicate it then.
Yeah, exactly.
I
He
think
can't
that's what
complicate
we
it.
might have spoken briefly about this the other day, chap, and then said to stop because we've got to do the podcast. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the
we did-
idea
we
that
did mention it.
He's done Tenet and done this whole different idea of time and blah blah blah. Now Endgame have gone and done their time thing and etc. And now they're gone, Nolan, come on over. It's like,
Yeah, it's like,
it looks
come
like
on,
it's a
man.
little bit bait, yeah. But I imagine it's probably because he's not happy with Warner Brothers. I mean, they pushed. I think they pushed him into releasing in lockdown. I think he would have been happy not doing that. But then Warner Brothers chose to make. They said, we've got a Christopher Nolan film. We want it to be, proof that cinema can still be great even during these hard times and stuff like that. And I think that might have gotten to his ego a little bit, maybe. And he's gone, yeah, you know what? We can release this. But in actual fact, you know, it did terrible for their sales. They won't release whether they broke even or not. They tell people they broke even, but I don't think they did. I think it went sideways very quickly.
Yeah,
I don't think it did as well as it could have.
Mm.
And
yeah,
understandably, it's not one of his best ones.
It isn't. It's definitely not one of
his best.
It's not
There
Inception.
are better ones out. Inception is probably my favourite. If I've got to pick one, I
love
definitely think I've got to pick Inception.
See, I need to watch Interstellar again because holy shit, was that
so
a
good.
mind fuck, and
So
I
good
needed to pay more attention.
I like the spaceship they have at the end where they because of the science behind like what his daughter's worked out and stuff. They can now use gravity like a tool and stuff, and they have like the ship is warped is like a concave Earth, and there's the kids are playing baseball, and then they hit the ball and the ball actually goes into the window of the house on the like above them / below them.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the kids are playing baseball and they smash the window of the house, but the house is actually above them because they're inside like this weird bubble that you can walk all the way around. Like it looks incredible. But yeah, Interstellar is probably my
It was
favourite.
a very pretty film.
Chap, you like Inception a lot, don't you?
I do for an awful lot of reasons. To be fair, for me, it's enough complexity in a film that gets you thinking, but it's still so nicely tied up at the end.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It just makes
those
sense.
Intercut scenes, man, when the van's going over the edge.
Yeah.
Into
Oh
the
my god! I must say
water
the visual
and
effects in it
everybody's
are just
floating in the hotel.
so bizarre and wonderful. It just hooks
Yeah.
you immediately. And I mean, you can see that because there are parts that are a bit like the first Doctor Strange film, where like the roads are kind of folding up into each other and creating different
very
shapes
much like
and
that.
whatnot. It's very similar, which is probably why I love Doctor Strange as well, for those visual effects.
Oh, Sam Raimi.
Yeah,
And then
to
of
be fair,
course
those
it's Leonardo
effects were awesome.
DiCaprio as well, and he is my bae.
And on the topic of him,
I love
Yeah.
Leonardo
another
DiCaprio.
amazing film,
Understandable.
Shutter
go on,
Island.
Oh,
I only watched that for the first time a few months ago, and holy shit!
yeah, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
watched it quite late
Yeah,
as
I
well.
must
I think
say.
I only watched it for the first time
film.
last year, maybe.
So I was guessing the whole. I love the old. And I didn't see it. I didn't see it as
You
well.
know, there's actually something about it kind of annoys me is that that Scorsese it very clearly can make films that aren't just hey bada bing bada boom come and get your fucking
Yeah.
pizza gonna shoot ya it's like it doesn't need to always be this like New York gangster hey I paint
Yeah.
houses oh jeez Louise it's like it doesn't need to be that every time, but he's so comfortable with that he just slips into that and then gives you a film like The Irishman, which is terrible. Like, have you guys seen The Irishman?
I have, yes.
I have.
Yeah,
I did struggle to get through it. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you. I don't know if I did finish it.
We've gone from one long film to another. We've gone from a 4-hour movie to a 3.5-hour movie.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well.
Yeah. It's going to be a long podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't, have you seen the clip of? Well, I mean, you both say you've seen it, right, Irishman?
Yeah.
So you've
but
seen.
Struggled to remember.
Do you remember when there's like a bit where, what's his bloody name? The lead character, De
Niro.
De Niro, yeah. When Robert De Niro is so he's got all the CG and everything to make himself look younger. He's meant to be about 40 years younger than he already is, or something like that. And then he
Which
has to
isn't
go
too
and
bad actually.
he
That aging
beats.
difference that they used.
Go back and have a look at it. It's pretty
Really?
bad.
I remember it
it's
being
not.
kind of alright.
Technology isn't ready for it. So seriously, it's pretty.
Oh really?
Pretty fucking awful.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Anyway, there is a bit that just highlights how bad the CG in the film is, for me at least. Is when he throws this guy out of this shop because he looks at his missus funny or something like that. But he throws this guy out of the shop, and then he's on the curb, and De Niro's like kicking the absolute crap out of him, and you can tell that this what's meant to be a 35-year-old man has got arthritis in all his joints, and he's just shaky
I know
and
what you mean.
juddery, and
Yeah.
he looks like an old man who's just trying to step out his dog's dog poo or
I
something.
think if you're not looking for it, it's not too noticeable. But when you're when you no, but on the
Alright.
contrary, when he's moving around, like actually, he as you say, he doesn't look as a like 40, 50-year-old man should.
Yeah, it's
he
just
looks
weird.
more his 70, 80
Yeah.
years, or whatever he is. But
And then there's the fact that it's not Al Pacino. Where's the little one?
I know who you're talking about. I
What's his
recognise
bloody
his
name?
little
Like
moldy face.
little angry
I know,
man.
it's on the
He
tip
just
of my
plays a
tongue.
little angry man every time. Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue as well. Anyway, that guy just sleeps in the car for most of the film.
Yeah,
I
just remember two women smoking while and getting out the car to smoke because they won't let him smoke in the car.
Joe Pesci, that's it. Yeah. Joe Pesci just spends like 3/4 of the film asleep in his car. But anyway, let's go back to Justice League because there is a hell of a lot to talk about. We
I know, yeah, I know. I was
quickly.
very excited to talk about Justice League, so let's take a backtrack here and talk about that because I obviously watched both of them in the same day because I never saw the original Justice League, the theatrical release, until literally last week.
Which I've been. I told him for how many years have I been telling you? You should watch it. Ready for this?
Well, since it came out, you've been saying you need to watch it. You need to watch it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'll get it round to it. I'll get round to it. But I finally did, just so that I had a bit of context of what was going to be different and how things had improved. And boy, had it improved, big time.
Big time, yeah. The colorization in the original Justice League is so like horrible, and I never noticed. I never noticed how bad it is until Zack Snyder showed us how he actually wanted his story to be told.
Yeah.
And there is a particular scene that I managed to catch on TV last night. My parents were just flicking through channels, whatever. And the actual Justice League was on ITV2, and I thought that's crease. Like that's a perfect summary of terrestrial TV now. Everybody gets the Snyder cut, and terrestrial TV gets the original cut, the shit cut on ITV2 as well. But anyway, it's the bit where Jim Gordon goes and meets them on the roof, and in the original film he's like, you're working as a team, and Aquaman turns up and he goes, dressed like a bat, I dig it. Batman goes, oh, it's only temporary, all the banter. Yeah. It's so fucking bad, but they're so bright. Like the Flash is so like bright red, like he's overheating in the suit. Like the contrast colorization is awful because it's Joss Whedon, the director of the original Avengers, comes in to pick up where Snyder had to leave it. So he's gone and coloured it like a normal superhero film, but that's not what Snyder wanted.
Not meant to be, no.
So it's the wrong colour palette on the right shots. So he just fucks the shots. And it's just some of it looks so bad, I mean, like so oversaturated.
Just talking about how obviously in like that scene in the original, you get all the banter between Aquaman and Batman, and then in the Snyder cut that isn't there. You get pretty much a completely different conversation between them.
You get a different set of banter. I think. It's still there.
Yeah, but as well as that, in other parts, I noticed that there'd be like the same shot taken from the original and put into the Snyder cut, but the dialogue would be pretty much completely different.
Yeah, well, they probably did some, not necessarily reshoots, but maybe shot different lines on the day.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking, is that I think some lines were changed.
I think I
obviously
heard
the script was rewritten by Whedon. And there was so much less like comedy, so much less one-line humour.
Well, I don't know. I think there was as much comedy, but Snyder isn't funny. Yeah, that's what. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much like the whole thing with Alfred and the tea. I was like, you've just never been to the UK. Like, what the fuck is it? These tea jokes that you're making with Alfred and like, make sure you put it in the water in the thing first, and blah blah blah. He's like, just. Let the Amazonian woman make a cuppa. Like, why are you being so anal about this? No British person would be this anal.
There were a couple of like one-liners that did make me chuckle.
Yeah, I think
not a full belly laugh.
Who? Which one?
The Flash.
Yates? The Flash. Yeah, the Flash was funny. I liked him talking about hitting on Wonder Woman. She goes, do you think she's a bit old for me? And Cyborg's like, she's like 5,000 years old. She's too old for everybody. I like that.
But even the little Alfred one-liner when Cyborg takes over the
Oh, I hate that.
What was it, the back crawler thing or whatever?
Do I know you?
Like, do I know you? I was like, that did make me chuckle. It was a bit sad.
Did it?
It was a bit sad, but I was just like, yeah, all right then, fair play.
Also, I wanted to point out, he said, catastrophic failure of all systems or something, and then suddenly Mr. Thingy comes along, so plugged in, and I'm just like, wait a minute. This is still based in the world of physics, and it is still a mechanical thing. If a piston's gone in the leg or something, what's Cyborg gonna do? He's gonna hack into it.
He just sticks his little spaghetti fingers in there and just plugs in.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, it's like the USB stick in Independence Day. It's for some reason the alien ship has a USB port and stuff like that. It's like these really weird little technical things that they're just hoping people are going to skip. Yeah. It's like, in this day and age, you can't skip a technological, whether it's a problem or a solution, you can't just skip through it. You know, hang on, let me use me alien cyber fingers to fix the situation.
Yeah. This happened because it happened, so no.
Yeah, exactly. I can understand that he can hack into the Pentagon or give that lady all of her rent back or whatever the fuck happened in that scene. That was a really weird, there was no explanation for who that woman was. Then all of a sudden he's giving her $100,000. It's explained her problems, but who is she? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I think what it was meant to be, because I do get you, I thought the same thing. I was like, who is this bird?
Yeah, she just comes out of nowhere.
But I think it was more because he was looking into his abilities.
Yeah,
and accessed his mainframe or whatever, which I thought was actually pretty cool. How he kind of went into virtual reality, and it was his normal self looking through all the files and stuff.
I think that's a very good idea of having intercutting scenes again, because you can have it just about one character, but have two completely different
and
places.
Then because obviously he could see pretty much the entire city's bank accounts laid out in front of him with all the stacks of money and whatnot. And this particular woman had a lot less than everybody else, so that's maybe why he decided to see what he could do to help her out. But again, why? Because she's just random. She doesn't really mean anything to us.
My two main issues with it is she's random. That's my biggest issue is she's completely random. It doesn't say she's from the same. If they just showed her a scene before that of her seeing him brooding in the room and they live in the same apartment block, that would be enough. Do you know what I mean? Just showing a girl upstairs holding the kid with the last bag of shopping she can get or some shit like that. Do you know what I mean? But my second problem is, in every Batman movie, they end up focusing in some way, shape or form about the homelessness in Gotham. So why is he not just going and printing out a big fat stack of cash and giving it to homeless people? Why? Do you know what I mean? Okay, I understand she's struggling as well, but she can't be the only person in Gotham City struggling. It's like the most crime-riddled paid place ever. There's a lot of things he could probably fix, and instead he just goes, "You won the Gotham jackpot."
It was a bit of a shame because in the original theatrical release, obviously you had that random family near the power plant that was being attacked by the alien fairy things.
Yeah. That's all Joss Whedon. That's all Joss Whedon's idea.
And I didn't like that whatsoever. I was like, there's no point.
Yeah, they didn't need to be in there.
Yeah, there was no reason for it. So I thought we had moved past that in the Snyder cut, but then he just replaced it with, like we say, this random woman that Cyborg helps out. There was just nothing there for me to connect to this woman whatsoever.
Yeah, it's very
so it just
random.
felt a bit pointless. I mean, I could understand that obviously it was kind of a way to show Cyborg's sort of origin, if you like, which was great because I actually now have a bit of context to what Cyborg is about.
Yeah, which is great because he's such a
which was excellent,
he's
because you didn't get any of that before.
In the comics, he's a big character, but it's like bringing in, I don't know, Spider-Man without explaining who he is. If nobody really knew who he was in the Marvel universe, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? He comes in later than everybody else, and then you do need to have this explaining sort of story of who he is still. And obviously, Marvel have done it a bit different by explaining, oh, his parents are gone, Aunt May, this and the other, and those movies have ticked over time. But if you imagine taking all of those original Spider-Man films, getting rid of them, and then looking at how Marvel put Spider-Man into
if you'd started
into
with
the story,
Tom Holland,
it would be really weird.
Yeah,
if it started with Tom Holland, it'd be like, what radioactive spider? What are you talking about? Because they never show it. There's no proof of that.
You got bit by a spider?
Yeah, it's like, come on, Marvel, give us a bit of something.
What's going on?
It was nice to see a little bit of Cyborg's origin, because obviously he doesn't have his own movie like Batman and
I'd love
Wonder
to
Woman.
see just a Cyborg and Flash movie, just those two together. I think
I thought the same. I think like you could quite easily do something between
their little
the two
fist
of
bump
them.
after they win. So
do you think Cyborg would fist bump Flash?
Would you say?
I feel like you'd have Flash being his typical comedy trope character, kind of like, but and then Cyborg as a reluctant kind of, he's just like pissed off with Flash, but also he loves him a little bit. He knows he's a laugh, but he also knows. Yeah, he wants him to shut the fuck up, but at the same time he loves him.
Between the two of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Flash is always teasing him, and then.
Yeah, but I like. I tell you what, actually, something that was very visually impressive that I wasn't ready for. So obviously, Flash has his own scene where he tears through his shoes and everything. That entire piece is incredible, and like it feels very Watchmen to me. Obviously, Zack Snyder, director, but it feels very Watchmen because of the music and stuff as well, and how he uses his slow motion. But something I really, really loved that I was not expecting is when the Flash helps the people sort of escape with Cyborg, like escape out the factory place where they're being held, and suddenly there's a big explosion and all the rocks come falling down on top of the people. You get this, he's in the air grabbing all of these rocks, and the people are looking up above and they can see these just flashes of his body as he's catching every rock. But the sound effects are a pinball machine. So he's floating above them and he's going ding 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 ding, and then suddenly he just gets it and goes, oh no, and there's one last rock and Cyborg goes poof, blows it away, and you're like, these two are instantly doing bits. They've just come out of the blue and they're instantly doing bits. It's so good. Like
it is excellent.
I think,
and that's something as well, actually, you say about the sound effect for that part, like the little pinball machine. Obviously that suits the character really well, and I think the sound design was done extremely well in the Snyder Cut. Everything from sound effects to the soundtrack itself, because it just fits so nicely. Whereas before, you'd have like extreme kind of upbeat action music to a scene that doesn't have a lot of action, and so it just fell out of place. Whereas in the Snyder Cut, it all just fits and flows so well.
I think it's very obvious that the original Justice League is two different visions of what the film should be, just clashing into each other.
Definitely.
And that's more obvious now that obviously the Snyder Cut has come out. But I remember saying to you, Chap, a couple of years ago that the problem with Justice League is it's very clearly trying to tell a story that it can't. And it's interesting that this is the story it's trying to tell. And I think like the fact that there was no dark side in the original, like at all, is kind of unbelievable. I don't really know how they did that. Whether it was if Snyder added Darkseid in, or what? Because like obviously it's all about Steppenwolf in Justice League, and then he actually got the very rare chance that a director gets is to have a worldwide test screening. That's what Justice League was. It's a global test screening, and then he can go, right, they didn't like this, they did like this, they didn't like this, and he can go and play with that. So there's a scene that I absolutely hated, that is the Flash landing in, or sorry, not a scene, but just like a certain moment in a scene, which is the Flash crash landing and his face goes into Wonder Woman's boobs. So she's laying on the ground. He like fucks around and then lands on her chest, right? The exact same thing happens in Age of Ultron when the whole place is getting attacked and Hulk gets grabbed over or Banner gets grabbed over the counter and lands on Scarlet Witch, and his face goes into her boobs. The exact same thing happens in both films. Both films, they're Joss Whedon's idea. So as soon as Snyder comes back into the seat, that scene is gone. Immediately gone. And it's like, I'm starting to like Joss Whedon less and less because I'm starting to understand this motherfucker just rides on other people's ideas, right? So I went and did a little bit of research. Joss Whedon adapts screenplays 9 times out of 10. He was one of the writers on Toy Story, but never came up with the original story. He just adapted the original Toy Story 1 story into a screenplay. He also adapted Justice League into a screenplay. He also adapted the Avengers stuff because it's all from the Marvel comics. He just adapts.
So he's always got
he never.
source
He doesn't
material.
create anything. He's
his
a
own
fucking bastard.
sole idea.
It really annoys me.
Interesting.
But if that's his job, I suppose he can just be like, well.
Yeah, but he's just like he's saying he's a screenwriter and he's a director and stuff. But he's just a fun sponge. He's just taking everybody else's ideas and then throwing them out as his own.
Because he knows
obviously
it'll make money.
it's not.
Just like, yeah, this will work. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it worked for Marvel because the content that he's copying is the same as everybody else is copying. They're all copying from the comics, and everything has to go through Feige still and stuff like that. But then you've got people adapting, like the fact that one of my favourite films, I love the Toy Story franchise, and the fact that he was the writer of Toy Story, but yet there's 4 people that actually wrote the story of Toy Story, and none of them are him. He's just the guy that adapts it to a screenplay. It's just, but he's making the big bucks off of it. So I mean, if he's getting away with it, fair enough.
Yeah,
but
well,
I just think
anyway
there's
to
something
make
about
money,
that's
I
very
guess.
toxic. Yeah, I just think there's something toxic about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes, our next one.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Have you not seen it?
Have you not watched episode 1 yet?
No.
It's very
meant to watch it
like
the other day.
They're in the real world and stuff. You know, the Falcon's trying to get a loan and all this sort of stuff. Like
he's trying to get a loan.
Yeah,
he's trying to get
he's getting a loan for like a.
His wings were in.
Join me, the Falcon, as I get a mortgage on my first home. This is the ordinary life of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
He's flying around making like the moon pig logo.
Here is my pet cat, Snowball, and here is my wife, Teresa, and my 2 children.
Yeah, it's like a totally normal life for him now. Yeah, he hangs up the wings. Not only does he hang up the Captain America thing, but
it's basically just housewives of Marvel. So it's been done as a reality TV show.
Yeah. What's the name of that country that gets lifted up into the air by Ultron?
Oh,
Sokovia.
I couldn't tell you.
The Housewives of Sokovia.
Housewives of Sokovia.
Yeah, the Housewives of Sokovia. Yes, it is a made-up place. Yes,
it's a made-up. It's meant to be like Ukraine, isn't it? Or some
but
Russian place where they're from.
Yeah. Proper Sukablet little place. Suka. That is the equivalent of the irradiated place in Justice League. There's this completely out of the blue place that Joss Whedon felt like filling with people. Like, there's no need, there's no point in people being there in the Snyder Cut Justice League thing. And I actually liked, we're going to be going backwards and forwards here, I think. I actually really liked in the Snyder Cut that they explain why they go to that place. When he gets there, he goes, smells toxic, and they basically explain that they're using the radiation to create their big fancy base and everything, and then later on they go on to explain that even a little bit more so to make sure people really know what is going on with like why Steppenwolf has decided to set up there and all this sort of stuff. I don't know what Joss Whedon was thinking by putting people into that scene, because by putting them in there you instantly cancel out the fact that this place is irradiated. So by putting those random people that meant absolutely nothing into the scene, you also cancel out the only explanation you can have for the scene.
Yeah.
What logic is that, man?
Contradicts it completely.
I mean, it just blew my mind when I sort of realised, like, oh, so it's all irradiated. That does make sense why there's a big old, Homer Simpson nuclear power plant tower thing there. Cool. Well, there wouldn't have been any people around. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
They'd all be dead.
Yeah, they would be big time. Yeah. And not just like hiding under the table because there's parademons flying around. It's just
some little alien tooth fairies flying about the house.
So, how did you guys feel about all the end credit scenes in Justice League? Because there's a lot of them.
Oh shit! Yeah.
It's like the last 40 minutes
the
of the film or
epilogue,
something
you mean?
stupid.
Because they're not actually end credits, are they?
Epilogue. You mean this really jarringly cut separate scenes that have nothing to do with each other?
Yeah, the whole the whole nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
I ultimately I liked the whole nightmare thing. It's interesting to see where it could be going. and hopefully we could see that whole scenario play out in the future. And the fact that it links back to like Batman versus Superman, the dream that he has in that.
Yeah. Which now actually has some. I went on a rant in the first episode about how that like is a completely pointless scene and like how
see,
they did
now
it
actually has some content. It actually means something.
It actually has context, yeah, which is so.
Snyder has proved you wrong, Ryan.
Yeah. But it's the bloody it's the Flash from that Nightmare universe, not the normal DC universe, which is quite interesting. So him saying Lois Lane is the key and all this sort of stuff, I am almost 100% sure that Nightmare world is the Injustice world.
Ooh.
Like I'm so sure it is, because Superman and like Lois Lane is the key. That probably means that Superman has turned evil for this Injustice world. You know, Batman and Joker are teaming up with Deadshot.
Yeah.
You know, he clarifies that Harley Quinn's already dead. This might be the cinematic
Injustice. That is the way I think they should go, because the way it looks like they've been going is very Marvel kind of orientated in that we've got this kind of, you know, I don't know enough about the comics to know if that's how they did it in the comics.
Mean DC?
Yeah, DC, but I don't know enough about DC comics and know why. If this is how it goes, like in the comics, like this is how they all coagulate and come together and stuff. But
if you want to know more about Injustice, play the game.
Yeah, but I've watched my friends play and it looks. I've played it a couple of times.
But it does actually have a narrative too.
Yeah, and that'd be sick to see that, because that won't just be fucking.
It is good, yeah, and I've read the Injustice comics and they are sick. The Injustice comics are really good. Like they start off with the Joker using his fear toxin along with I can't remember what it's called. Oh yeah, the fear toxin and kryptonite. So he puts the fear toxin and kryptonite together so that it can soak into Superman's cells, and then makes Superman believe that Lois Lane is Doomsday. So he grabs Doomsday and takes him straight out into the out of the atmosphere off the Earth, and then the fear toxin wears off quite quickly because he's no longer near it, and he realises he's actually just killed Lois Lane. So he flies back down to Earth and just puts his fist straight through Joker and kills him.
Holy
then as soon as he kills him, it breaks that link that Batman is always scared of himself breaking, in that once he kills, he'll never stop killing. And that's where the divide comes from, is Batman is still on the side of we shouldn't be killing people because that makes us as bad as the bad guys, and Superman is now in this mentality of we should just clear these cockroaches off our Earth, we should just be killing whoever we can, I have all the power, I should be able to do it. And he becomes this like godlike leader, but leading out fear, so that everybody on Earth is scared of him. And that's when you get this new divide of characters where you get one side which is Batman, and Batman ends up teaming up with some different people, and then in Injustice 2 they kind of ruin it a bit in Injustice 2, because they start doing a multiverse thing where they start bringing characters back that have already died. So Joker comes back but then teams up with Batman, which is where I get the feeling that this Nightmare world is where Injustice comes from. But it would be interesting to know what actually makes Superman snap and turn angry if the original Joker is actually alive in their Nightmare universe. Which I think.
Yeah, I do hope that we see some of the concepts and plot lines from Injustice turn up in that whole Nightmare
Blue Beetle
scenario. Oh yeah, could you imagine if Blue Beetle turned up?
Yeah, it'd be OP. If he's like he is in the game, he's just going to wipe the floor with everybody.
Yeah. Oh, actually, well that's something as well, actually, that we haven't pinpointed yet. One of the biggest reveals in Justice League, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
obviously turns
for anything.
Up.
I loved him.
Yeah, obviously
up.
Doesn't do a lot. Which might be understandable because there's definitely more to come from his side of things.
Yeah, it's still annoying though.
But yeah, when he first morphs from being Superman's mum after talking to Lois Lane,
so
and morphs himself back in the corridor, I was like, oh, holy shit, yeah, all right then.
So it turns out he's been in the universe since day one, because he's been playing the general of the US military. So when Superman first comes down and lands, and Zod is calling out in Man of Steel, and he's saying like, "We want Superman. We'll leave your planet alone if you give us Superman." Blah blah blah. All this sort of stuff. The general is there to meet these aliens landing for the first time, and it's the black guy that's leading them all around. Martian Manhunter morphs into that black guy after morphing out of being. I wanted to say Aunt May. It's not Aunt May.
But
it's
can Superman not like detect him?
No, apparently not. He's got. I think he's. I think he's a type of. From what I remember of the comics, it's been a long time since I've read any Martian Manhunter. But from what I remember, is his abilities to swap and change and stuff like that were never observed by Kryptonians. So Superman's powers have never known to be expecting a threat like that. But Martian Manhunter is the last Green Martian, and he is not a threat. He's going out to make sure other people don't become the last of their species, which is why he ends up on Earth, because Superman is the last of his species. But that's how it is in the comics. It seems like in the movies he's already on Earth, because he turns up just as the general, no problemo, and then that doesn't really get explained that he is Martian Manhunter, because there is no point.
Well, he did a pretty sucky job of looking after Superman, didn't he? Because he died.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why didn't he interfere earlier?
That was Superman's sacrifice, remember? Like, I don't think anyone could
but
like,
fucking, if he was just lurking around, he's a fucking superhero. Him just swipe in and be like, "No, it is not our time to die." And
yeah. Well, it'd be pretty well for all those American soldiers if, like, Zod's coming down the spaceship, Superman's also turning up to meet Zod, but also meet the American military for the first time, and then all of a sudden their own leader turns into a fucking Green Martian.
Hell yes, sir.
They're just like, what would we believe anymore?
Everyone on Earth would just go into a frenzy. What is happening?
All the soldiers are like, "Could I do this? Like, what's going on?"
I must say, just talking about Superman, one of the obviously the biggest differences between the two Justice League films is that in the Snyder Cut we actually get to see Henry Cavill's real chin.
Yes, we do. Yeah, it's completely
and it's beautiful.
That intro is completely cut from the film, which I absolutely love.
I love it. When he first turned up, I was just waiting for it. I was like, now have they fixed it? Have they like done him properly? And it turned up, and I was like, that is his real chin. I could not be happier.
It's like the first thing you see in Superman lands, absolutely shredded broski, and you're like, yeah, his chin's back.
Instant erection. I was just like, yes, Henry Cavill, I love you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet you, what's her face, the one that plays Lois Lane was quite happy to be back on set with shirtless Henry Cavill all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, did you see them standing outside the house, and she was given a bit of a touch-up on his...
Yeah, well, I think that was already in the film, but maybe she just asked for a reshoot anyway. She was like, I didn't get that scene correct.
I didn't like what I did last time. Could we just do this again?
That would be so funny. Like, Snyder lays out the cheapest scenes where there's no budget. So basically where Superman can't fly and all this sort of stuff. So one of the few cheap scenes in it is them standing in the cornfield outside of the Clark Kent household and all this sort of stuff. And she's like, I'm 100% down to reshoot. Like, straight away.
She goes over. Over to the camera. It's just like, oops, accidentally deleted. We're gonna have to do it again.
Whoopsie.
I'd definitely be trying to pull that gag.
Yeah. 100%. No, you'd be probably pulling something else as well, I imagine.
Most likely, yeah. Jerking him off in the cornfield.
Oh, yeah.
Making some corn
Snyder
syrup.
says, like, Chappers, no, that's not what we wanted. Like, oh, really?
No!
Oh, I'm
for
sorry.
God's sake, why do we pick this man to
Why
play Lois
is he shirtless?
I think I'd make a banging Lois Lane. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would, mate. I've no doubt about that. I think you'd also be quite a good Harley Quinn.
Oh wow!
Well,
all the female characters
according to the nightmare sequence, Harley Quinn's dead.
Come here.
At that point, so yeah.
Did you guys notice that Jared Leto's Joker was actually he's actually trying to be more like Heath Ledger's Joker?
He was trying to embody a few of them. It looked like.
Yeah.
It looked like he was taking.
He's definitely referenced a few and done a bit of work on the character.
Yeah.
The laugh I love. I love the laugh because it's so
the laugh's the best thing about it, but it still isn't.
Yeah.
It's not.
I hated that tattoo on his hand, and
I just don't think he looks right. I just don't like the look of him.
Do you not?
No.
Oh, see, he does. He looks an awful lot better than he did.
Yeah, this is it. I think I like the more, in Nightmare Sequence than in Suicide Squad, especially with his proper funky black teeth. I mean, like that really gave
much better.
His. Instead of having the tattoo on his hand, his smile was just genuinely crooked and disgusting to look at.
Yeah.
Like,
and they got rid of the damaged tattoo on his forehead, which is great.
Oh, they did, didn't they? Yeah. What a shit show! They just got rid of his tattoo. Like, you imagine the idea of Joker having like LASIK surgery, like the laser surgery.
Do you want to know why he had that damaged on his forehead?
Because he's got mental health problems.
Because basically,
because he's fucked up.
You know, you saw
he's got a bit of anxiety.
Robin's suit, and it had something, fuck you bats or something.
Oh yeah,
spray painted on it. Basically, that was because I think it's in the comics. The Joker killed Robin, put that up on display or whatever, and Bats got so pissed off that he fucking went back and punched his teeth in, which is why he had grills. And so as a result, Joker got damage written on his head because he is damaged.
Damaged goods.
Yeah, damaged goods, and because he had all his teeth knocked out from Batman.
And where was that in Suicide Squad?
Fuck knows. I read that on some little news thing this morning. So there you go.
Just this morning.
Literally this morning. Yeah.
I thought that's
quite recently.
News you've had for a while.
It just read it this morning.
That's brilliant.
There you go.
I was just because you mentioned the whole Robin being killed by Joker in the comics. And in the game, it happens in Arkham, whatever one it is. Forget which one.
One
of the Batman guys.
It's the one before Arkham Knight, because Arkham Knight is the ex-Robin.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of that one is. My point is, I watched a video on Instagram by a page called Comic Book.
Okay.
Shout out to them because it's a great page.
Are we doing shout outs on it?
I love it. Well, I am now.
Are we doing it? Yes.
All
right.
I am now. I've just done one. Can't stop me.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Gillette razors then. and Mercedes. So fuck it.
Oh, we could be sponsored by Gillette. Let's see if they'll sponsor us.
Frame of Mind podcast, the best a man can get.
But no, I mean, no. This Instagram page, Comic Book, they do a lot of reviews and stuff on like latest news in films and comics and music, all of that. But they also create these weird little sketches where they kind of put together their own theories and act out.
Oh, like how it should have ended.
Kind of, yeah. But then they kind of just do like little outtake videos, and there's one they put up the other day of both Robin and Nightwing standing there talking about like going into battle and who gets more like fight time, etc. And then you've got Batman standing over the other side just drinking a cup of coffee, not saying anything. So they're having this little argument about why Batman takes Nightwing on missions and whatnot,
and takes Robin on others.
But Robin gets very little or something or other, and Batman's just there with his cup of coffee, giving him little side eyes, just like I'm not saying anything. It's hilarious. I definitely recommend going to check them out because they
what
make
was the
me
name
laugh. Again? Comic Book. It's just I think
just Comic Book.
I think it is just literally called Comic Book.
Nice. I saw Instagram the other day. I've been following for a while, but I didn't realise their name was literally Rap. Like the Instagram tag is @rap. Like that's it. Like,
rap is in the music, or rap is in the food?
No, just rap is in the music, but it's just @rap. Like and for me, I'm like, what? That's like whoever got Dave@gmail.com. Do you know what I mean? Like it's this. It must be so sought after. Half their DMs are probably people trying to buy that name from them, and because their content on the page was okay, like it was obviously all about hip hop and rap and stuff like that, and there is a lot of news about hip hop and rap that comes out because most of these artists are very controversial people, but so much of it was just the sort of garbage clickbait. And I thought, you must have been running this Instagram for so long now.
Yeah.
It's got like 13 million followers or something like that. That absolutely anybody that listens to rap has followed you, and you're making your money no matter what you post. So now it's just this crap. And I went, it's exactly. And I just unfollowed it the other day. I was like, this is actually a completely pointless page now. It's gone past the point of anything. In fact, they should sell it. Do you know what I mean?
But, you should shut down. You should stop doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
I have found some decent pages on Instagram because it's basically the only social media I really use fully. And yeah, like there's quite a few on there, but every now and then you do get the odd one that's just utter crap and full of junk.
So. Oh, see, I can tell you actually. Right, so you might not be able to see this on here. Can you see up the top there? It says rap. Just literally says rap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is actually what made me unfollow it. They put a rating on here. People that listen to rap and listen to the podcast, you might understand what I'm saying. They said, who's better, Denzel Curry or Lil Baby? And Lil Baby got 79% of the votes. I was steaming. And the next one over was just straight up unfair. They put JID, one of my favourites, next to Kanye West, one of the all-time greats. So JID just naturally lost. Yeah, well, I was just like, what are you doing?
Since you've just mentioned those polls, are you boys ready for Chaps Champ of the Week?
It's game time.
Yeah, I'm down.
Cue the music. So today's game is called Public Polls.
Oh.
And it's taken from another Instagram profile called Film Dreams. Cool. And they basically put up a bit like those polls that you were just showing. They put up a poll for people to choose one film out of two. So
it's still films. I thought these were gonna be a little bit more random by the way you said public polls, but it's still movies.
Oh no, this is all movies. Yeah,
right,
still movies. Cool. So I'm going to give you both two films, and I want you to give me the percentages of what you think people voted for those films. So it's obviously 100%. So you could have 70% for one, 30% for another.
Right.
And whoever gets the closest gets the point. Basically.
Cool.
Now, I have a couple of sort of categories, and I'll let you guys choose which category we start with. So we've got a classic Marvel edition. You've got Leonardo DiCaprio movies. You've got Christopher Nolan movies. And also sci-fi classics.
Ooh, do you want to do Nolan?
Let's do Nolan first.
Yeah.
We'll start with Nolan. Cool. All right, we will start with Nolan.
Whoa.
I was going to say, because last week was just like, when I was doing that editing, the amount of Marvel actors we just burnt through.
That's very true. There were a lot of Marvel actors last week. Right, okay, so we're going to do the Christopher Nolan category. So your first two films to give me percentages for are, this is funny because we mentioned it earlier, Inception and Interstellar. How do you think people voted for Inception and Interstellar?
Wait, what are you using as a source here? Are you using Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb?
So all of these were taken from the Film Dreams Instagram page.
Oh, I see.
So
okay,
got you. This is 100% of about 25,000 people.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Once we get an actual fan base ourselves, I'm sure we could send these polls out to people and see what they say.
Definitely. Yeah, I'd love to see what people think of these.
I would definitely say Inception is going to score more than Interstellar.
Yes, I think so. But are we going to write our answers down? Or are we just going to say it at the same time?
Say it at the same time. You can say them out and I'll write them down here.
Why don't we do... I was going to say, why don't we write down our scores? Like me and Yates write down what we think it's going to be. You ask us all all three questions, and then we'll see. We'll say like, oh, I got this for Inception.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll do it that way. Yeah. So if you boys write down your answers for each one, cool, and then you can show them to me, and we'll go through. So so the first one, Inception and Interstellar.
Oh, I want
Are you ready for the next one?
2 seconds.
Yeah, okay, I'm ready for the next one.
Dyslexic over here.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
So your second ones are Memento and The Prestige.
Oh, that's a hard one.
See, I haven't seen Memento.
Have you not?
I've seen The Prestige.
It's good. It's really good. I want to say.
I was quite surprised by that one, to be fair.
For the film buffs, yeah.
Oh.
You know what? You would say you were quite surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm rating them too highly or too.
I'm interested to see what you
ready.
guys say about these. The third one,
Yeah. Go for it.
which again, very surprising, is Dark Knight and Batman Begins.
Ooh!
Oh. That's quite. I think that's quite easy, to be fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, we know which one's going to
yeah.
be. Oh, don't throw a curveball in there and tell me that Batman Begins is better than Dark Knight. Fuck off. It's not happening.
Oh dear.
They're getting 100% Dark Knight. You're getting all my points.
Batman Begins is a pretty good film, though.
Yeah,
Right.
no one likes Batman Begins. Is Yates thinking there?
Pretty much.
Oh, I thought that was you actually announcing that. I was like, well,
Oh no,
right.
no, I
This is
love
an
that.
opinionated
Well, to be fair, I
podcast.
love both of them. I do love both of them.
Okay, next.
And your
I
last
think that's
one,
the 3, isn't it? Oh shit, my note's running out of space.
yeah, sorry, yeah, there were 4. I didn't actually say that. But
You
the last
lied.
one,
So we could tie break them.
last one is Dunkirk and Tenet.
Ooh. See, that's a tough one.
Oh, that is tough. Because Dunkirk is an art piece, really. People didn't go crazy. for it.
Dunkirk's fantastic. I love Dunkirk.
It is, yeah, it is. Do you know Tarantino who said it's one of the best films of all time?
Yeah.
Who the
Which
fuck
I
is
find
he to
very
say that?
Yeah.
Tarantino who?
Tarantino. Who?
I'm trying to think, Ryan, did we
Quentin?
watch Dunkirk together, I think. That's something.
Yeah, we might have done. We've watched a lot of Nolan together, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Have you got your answers?
I have my
haven't
answers.
actually done my one for Dunkirk and thingy. Was it Dunkirk and
Dunkirk and Tenet. Yeah.
You know what? Tenet came out sooner, so I think it'll get higher than Dunkirk, but not by a lot.
Oh, this is tense.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good too.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Oh, good.
All right.
Right.
So, Yates, do you want to?
Okay, so Inception and Interstellar.
Yeah, go on.
I put for Inception 90%, and for Interstellar 85%.
90% and 85? Wait, no, they're against each other, aren't they?
Oh, fuck, are they against each other?
90% and 10%.
I've
Yeah,
totally
that's-
misunderstood the game.
So this game is out of 175%.
Percentages out of 100%.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the ratings that people it scored in a poll. So out of 100,
I had a funny feeling you were thinking that. Oh man, why do you never
Right.
get these games?
it's
Last
alright.
week
Look,
you
hey,
didn't get
hey,
it.
I'll make some quick adjustments.
I
I
was
can
gonna
fix
say, yeah,
this.
right.
I've got them written down.
You
Give me 2
take
seconds.
a couple of minutes to fix it. I'll replay the game music.
Okay, yeah. So here we go. Let's start again.
Right, start again.
Okay.
For Inception, I put and Interstellar. I put 70-30, so Inception's got 70.
Oh, for God's sake! I literally
Okey-doke.
Inception 70, Interstellar 30.
You've done the same, Ryan, yeah?
In
Yeah.
line us.
Okay, well, that's clearly a draw already.
Well, that's fine because there's 4 questions.
Yes. Your next one's Yates, Memento,
next
and
one.
The Prestige.
Memento and Prestige. I'm sticking with the 730 theme, but the other way round. So 30 for Memento and 70 for Prestige.
Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
And
See,
Ryan?
I went Memento 60%, Prestige 40%.
Oh, you went the other way round.
Yeah. See, Memento has a very big underground following because it's one of Nolan's first. It is Nolan's first film, and it's brilliant. It's the most
right
non-linear film I've ever seen. It puts Tarantino to shame. It's so good.
They've got a
Very
real few Tarantino and Nolan, don't they?
Yeah, Tarantino who?
Okay.
The third one, Dark Knight and Batman Begins.
Well, obviously, The Dark Knight got 90 and Batman Begins got 10 because they can suck my ass.
I think 10% on Batman Begins is a ballsy, man. I put Dark Knight 80%, Batman Begins 20.
I'm not saying it's a bad film. It's a good film. It's a very good film. But I really like The Dark Knight, and I'm biased. So fuck you, Ryan. Fuck your opinion, because I've done 90-10. You know what? Actually, you know what? No, I'm doing 100. I'm sticking with that. I'm doing 100% and 0 for Batman Begins.
The idea that of like 25,000 followers, no one said Batman Begins a good movie.
Hold on, Yates, are you changing your answer for that one?
Well, now that you're giving me a smile, it makes me feel like I'm actually quite close, so I'm going to keep it. We're going to stay with 90-10.
90-10.
You're keeping it 90% for Dark Knight and 10% Batman Begins.
Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Right. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm certain. 100%.
Okay.
Don't do that. don't give me that. Oh,
you can see it's okay. But both mine and Yates' knees are going right now. Like you can see, my legs proper going as well.
Getting excited. Okay.
The last one, Dunkirk and Tenet. Yates, what did you give them?
Dunkirk 45, Tenet 55.
Oh, same.
No way!
Yeah. Dunkirk 45, Tenet 55.
Oh, you've done the same. Okie doke. I think this is going to be a lot closer than I thought. Let me just tally these up. So we know, obviously, the first one, Inception and Interstellar, you both said 70-30.
Yeah.
You weren't too far off. Inception got 57%, and Interstellar got 43%. So very nearly 50-50 for that one.
Personally, I would probably go for that, but I felt like Inception was such like a home favourite. So many people saw that film and enjoyed it.
I definitely thought that was closer than I expected.
Okay, well we drew on that one anyway. So
so that's a point for both of you.
So go on, Memento.
Memento and The Prestige. Memento got 46%, and The Prestige got 54%.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I'll take
so
that.
Who's closer then?
Me. I did 30-70.
Yeah, you were 30-70.
30-70, right? Yeah, because I've gone the other way round.
That would go to Yates.
40. Right. Okay.
See, I was thinking
so again, that's another one that was quite close, almost halfway for that one.
Okay.
Dark Knight and Batman Begins.
Here we go. Come on.
No, I can't believe this because I'm going to have to give the point to both of you.
What?
Because you're both either side of it.
What, evenly either side?
Literally both evenly, like 5 away either side.
So what is it?
So Dark Knight got 85%, and Batman Begins got 15%.
15%.
And you've both answered.
Shit, so that's right.
Either
so we drew on 3 of the 4 questions.
Fucking knew it. Dark Knight, man. People love that film. That film is incredible.
Fair play. Play.
And then the last one, Dunkirk and Tenet.
Well, we both said the same amount.
Oh yeah,
In fact,
you both gone
for the
same
sake of
as well,
seeing who win, I'll swap my decision. So I'll say Tenet got 55.
Whoa.
Well, no, because Yates is technically
You're not allowing this because I'm winning at the moment, am I not?
Yates is winning.
No,
and you can't change your fucking answer, boy.
Is winning. It's just. I guess it's 1 and then draw. Sorry, I was. Okay.
Yates won the point
I got
for
the
Memento and the Prestige.
Yeah. If this is my one time I can beat you, I'm gonna have it.
1 point and 3 draws.
Yeah, I'll take the 1 point if it means
I'll put that in as draw. But no, the final answers for Dunkirk and Tenet.
Yeah. Right.
Obviously, you both weren't too far off. Dunkirk got 51%, and Tenet got 49%. So Dunkirk was higher.
Oh, so if I had just swapped it, then I would have actually gotten the point back.
Exactly. So fuck you, Ryan. I win.
That's like the 6th time you said "fuck you, Ryan" to me today.
Sorry.
I must say, I'm surprised.
Feel attacked.
Because both of you put Tenet as higher, obviously being the most recent.
Yeah. I would have thought.
Yeah, I'm impressed that Dunkirk actually. Maybe
got
Tarantino.
a 1% rating more.
That weird randomer Tarantino that nobody's heard of. Maybe people have actually heard.
That 1% was Tarantino voting on this particular poll.
He's got loads of Instagram. He's just making sure he goes 100%. Through all the polls.
So yeah, at the end of that round, Yates is our chaps champ of the week. There we go. Bravo.
Chappers,
applaud me.
Applaud me. Bloody bravo.
Winning.
Bloody bravo.
Thanks, guys.
I found this post a little while ago. It's on a very strange website called Kotaku. Never seen it before, but it's talking about esports and stuff like that. So I went down the vein of looking at some Twitch stuff recently, because we might be doing something like that. And I found this website. Basically, on the this was last year in December, the 21st of December, an esports team signed an 8-year-old, but nobody's sure if it's legal. Now, if I share my, obviously people won't be able to see this on the stream, but I'm just going to show you guys what this kid looks like. So this is the little mite that has become. This kid's a professional Fortnite streamer, right?
Mm. There's
something about this that is just straight up dodgy. I don't know what it is, but there's
if his
something
parents
weird
are running his account and he's not looking at the chat and stream, it's like kid friendly. I don't see why not.
So let me read you a bit of this. So, if nothing else, Team 33, don't know who they are, but I guess they're the people that have hired this kid. Team 33 certainly made a splash when it arrived on the esports scene earlier this month. In a press release, the previously unknown organisation boasted of a Hollywood team house that had already played host to big names like Janelle Monáe, Post Malone and Drake. But it wasn't glitz and glamour that promoted its withering glare from the esports community's Eye of Sauron. Instead, it was the team's first announced signee, a Fortnite player called Joseph Dean. He's 8 years old. Now, when you were 8, playing games, right, take whatever your 8-year-old mentality was and put it into this kid now. Like, that's such a weird thing to happen, in my opinion. Like, I think this almost dystopian.
Because
I think it is.
Obviously, there's such things as child actors.
Yeah, what's
so
dystopian?
Is this not just the kind of
no,
modern day?
No, child actors. That's different. That's the parents signing this and sorting it out and being in control of the situation.
Maybe they are. Maybe the kid was just good at the game, and his dad was just like, "Holy shit, son, you're pretty good at Fortnite. You heard of Twitch? Let's set you up one."
You heard of Twitch?
You heard of Twitch, son? Are you winning, son?
So they're saying that fans think that this kid's signing isn't legal, and that the team are possibly violating child labour laws by doing what they're doing. But this is what I mean. It doesn't have anything to do with the parents. Something that also happened in the community, whatever this community is. It basically says extreme youth is not uncommon in the esports world, where teams become stars and teams push limits to get an edge on the competition. Multiple Overwatch League teams have incubated underage players until they've hit the minimum required age to play on Blizzard's big stage, which is 18 years old. In 2019, then 16-year-old Fortnite phenomenon Kyle Booger Geisdorf won the epic Mega
Kyle
Games.
Booger.
His name's Booger. Booger boy.
As in bogey.
It's spelled B-U-G-H-A. Booger.
Booger?
Like the boogeyman.
Booger?
So apparently there was this kid, Kyle Booger, who was 16-year-old Fortnite phenomenon, and he won the Epic Games mega $3 million World Cup. Somewhat notoriously, in 2019 also saw another player win the same amount of money again with FaZe, but he was busted for pretending he was years above the minimum required age to stream on Twitch and compete in the Fortnite tournament. In reality, this FaZe fella FaZe first signed this guy when he was 11. In response to this revelation, Twitch suspended his account and Epic revoked his tournament winnings. Because he was too young. So by the time he wins his money, he's 16. So he's been playing for FaZe and on Twitch for 5 years, but he's too young to actually enter the competition. So now he gets his $3 million revoked for being too young.
That's ridiculous.
That's
so bad, isn't it? That is so bad.
God. Man.
And I just think
you can just imagine the amount of Mountain Dew he wanted to buy with that money.
Oh, I would have spent
Mountain Dew and Doritos. Good stuff.
Mountain Dew and Doritos.
3 million.
Yeah, that is what the $3 million would have went on.
Yeah.
In an instant.
Liquid called Mountain Dew.
Straight down to Asda, using every one of their trolleys to fill it up with Mountain Dew and Doritos.
They could buy the Asda.
No, that's I mean. Well,
it's nuts, isn't it?
There's age restrictions in place for a reason, though.
Yeah, I know, but this is what I mean with this 8-year-old kid. This is now younger to start off with than this 11-year-old kid who got his money taken away from him.
First of all, if this 8-year-old kid has signed himself without parental consent, then that's straight away illegal, I believe.
It's pretty dodgy. This is what I mean. Doesn't mention anything about the parents in the article.
Don't you have to be like 13 to have a Twitch account or something?
Well, I don't know.
Weird.
It's mad.
All right.
Yes, a weird thing that I found that I thought might be interesting to talk about.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that's bizarre. I've got a lot of questions. Like, one, I'd like to know if the parents had any consensual.
How much is he making?
In what the kids?
Where's my money?
Yeah. How much is this 8-year-old making?
$1.
Because if he's making an awful lot, then I need to get better at Fortnite and quickly.
Or no. Alternatively, you have a child.
You got to train Charlie.
Yeah.
Just train Charlie up to be the sickest Fortnite player. Your little brother.
To be fair, he's pretty good already. So,
yeah. Stop making that moolah, baby. We were talking about streaming.
Charlie.
We just need to back your brother.
Charlie. Oh wait, no, he's at school. No, fuck it.
All right. Well, pretend to be him. Just shave that off.
No, I ain't
Sit in
shaving
the
this
chair.
off. This.
Hi guys, I'm playing Fortnite. Give me money. That's all you need to do, and then people will
that
do
sounded just like my 13-year-old little
Why
brother.
haven't you done it already then, right?
I was meant to be 13-year-old you.
13-year-old me? No, that sounds worse.
Yeah. Why haven't we done it already?
Why haven't
I already
you done it
tried
already?
doing YouTube.
No.
YouTube,
I mean, being a
shoot
little
up and spat
goblin, begging people for money.
I think I do that.
Yeah, I do
I
that
don't know
already.
about the begging people for money, but I'm definitely a little goblin.
It's like those fake homeless people, you know, the people that pretend they're homeless.
Why aren't you
Beg.
selling yourself on a street, for Christ's sake?
Oh dear.
Right, this is taking a strange
Well, there you
turn.
go.
I know it really has. I think we've come to an end.
Yeah,
now.
sorry about that, boys.
We've obviously run out of things to say.
Yeah, well, I like the way as soon as I shifted it from movies, we didn't have anything to say about the situation.
No,
We had
well,
no
I'm
input.
I'm still baffled by that story. I need to research that story more because I'm baffled by it.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, what's
Thank
this
you.
Twitch? Where can I follow it?
I want to see what bits this kid can do.
If you search on Google, esports team signed an 8-year-old, but nobody is sure if it's legal.
Yeah. Nice.
Maybe don't search that, but that's the title for the
Sweet.
website.
Good, you can just imagine the cookies after that.
Oh Christ, no. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. I have been Ryan.
Thank
that
you.
has been Yates, and that has also been Chappers.
There he is. Adios.
See you all later. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
I had so many cookies on my computer after I bought my mate Ben a sex doll.
What the